Hi, I'm Brittany and welcome to my channel. In this video today, I'll show you how I paint these loose florals and cut it down into littler paintings to frame. Alright, so I am going to paint some loose watercolor florals. I have my Winsor & Newton 100% cotton watercolor paper, and it's 140 pound, and it's on a block here. So this will keep it nice and flat while I paint. You can see I've drawn in some flowers, just very lightly. So I'm going to do some 5-petal flowers and some roses, and I've just drawn some circles for the roses. And then I've drawn in some leaves. So that's kind of the idea of what I'm going to be doing. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the colors Jaune Brilliant and Indian Red. I'll also be using some Mineral Violet. I'll use Ultramarine Blue and Payne's Gray. For my greens, I have Perylene Green for my dark, Sap Green for my light green. This is Prussian Green, and I'll use that too. So I'll start just right here in the center with the flower. Pointing my brush in towards the center, and I need a little bit more water here. I don't want the petals to be perfect. They can be kind of scraggly on the sides. Drop in some more color. Oops, got green all over. Get that green out of there. Now, before that dries, I'm going to pick up some thick Indian red paint. Drop it here in my center. Just draw some spokes. I want some of those edges to bleed out into the rest of the painting, so I'm just gonna lay some water down and blend out my edge. Probably touch into this wet paint over here. I'll start with my sap green for the leaves. I'm just going to start the leaf right here. And that's wet, so it's just going to bleed out like that. Let's get our stem in here. Now for the darker green, I'm picking up, this is my Perylene Green. I like how that's all just blending out together, so I'll just leave it. Drop some blue over here. Drop in more color. My Prussian Green. Drop it in water. I'll smear out this stem. And before it totally dries, I'm going to pick up some Mineral Violet and drop it in the center here. Give it some more interest and depth. Okay, now I'll go over to this rose, and I'm going to start with my Indian rose, a thick thick mixture of that. I start with my center, and I'm just going to draw some quick little C strokes around each other. I'll pick up the lighter Jaune Brilliant mixture in Indian Red, and I'm going to touch it into these outer layers that I just laid down. Just make the petals thicker as you go out and lighter in color. And I'll go back in a second and drop in some more color. I drew my circle a little bit bigger, so I'll extend these outer petals. Now I want my mineral violet in the middle here. I'll cover up all the white space, but kind of add to it here. And then I'm going to add some more Indian Red to give these petals some depth here. Let that all mix around. Let's get some blue and darker green going over here. My Prussian Green. Have this leaf be an ultramarine blue leaf. And for that one, let's drop in Payne's Gray. Get rid of that white spot. Now I'm going to blend out some of these edges. And have some more leaves over here. This flower right here is kind of facing down and to the left. So I start just with one petal here in a crescent shape. Kinda. And then I'll put 3 petals pointing into that center. Picking up some Indian Red. And I'll go straight into that with Mineral Violet. Okay, I'm grabbing some Ultramarine Blue. Let's go with the Prussian Green. That blood in there just a little bit too much, so try and put some more pink in there. This is my size 10 Princeton Neptune brush. It does a great job at these loose florals. Now I'll try to speed this video up a little bit and just continue to paint these 5-petal flowers and roses and leaves until this whole page is filled up with florals. Okay, now that this painting is finished and dried, I'm going to take my little 5x5 cutout here, and I'm going to chop this painting down into smaller paintings. I'll probably be able to get maybe 4, depending on where I choose to cut out these little squares. I could get 2, 3, or 4 out of this paper. So what you want to do is just take your 5x5 inch cutout and just go around the painting and look for the spots that you like. This rose is pretty. I'm liking that. I like that one. I asked my kids, and one of them voted for this flower. One of them voted for this flower. So you just want to move around the whole painting and kind of see what speaks to you. And that's kind of cool. I kind of like those bleeds over there around that rose. Okay, well, I'll make up my mind and then I'll trace the square. So it's going to take me a minute. I'm going to turn off the camera for a sec. Okay, I think I've narrowed it down to this rose over here. I just have to decide if I want to keep the whole thing. Do I want to cut some of it off? I don't want it like exactly in the middle of my painting, so I can only go that far over. I like these leaves over here, and I like these dark green leaves, so I think I'm going to keep it down here in the corner. So since I'm pretty much right on the corner anyway, I think I'll stay right here. So then you just trace your guide, and we'll chop this painting up in just a minute. And since I have a rose, I probably want one of these flowers, because I'm going to make a set of these paintings together. Let's keep looking. Okay. Here's another one. This is a side view. This is the one that my daughter liked, and I do like this white space in here. You can twist this around too. It doesn't have to be straight. Do whatever you want. Let's check this guy out. Well, at some point you just have to make a decision and go for it. I'm gonna go with this right here. If I change my mind, I can erase these lines. I've just gotta make up my mind. If I do that, I can't use this guy though, so let's see what I like better. Okay, I could use it if I go to there. Let's just try that. So I can do 1, 2, 3. I could do one more over here. Okay, so the ones I've decided on, down here, I've got one right here. And then if I put this on an angle here, I can still use this rose. So right about there, I can get some of that pink one and the rose. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3. I can get a 4th over here. And I'm liking putting these 3 flowers in somehow. I kind of like having them going off the corners like that, making a triangle. Just go for it. So I'll have 4 to choose from, even though I only need 2 for this show that I'm doing right now. So once we get them in a frame, we'll see how they look. Okay, now normally I use my cutter to do this, but since they're all on different angles, I'm just using my scissors. And don't be afraid, just go for it. Okay, and cutting right here. Goodbye, rose. There's 2. I'm going to cut a little bit wider here to see if I need any of this. But there's number 3. And the last one. Again, I'm cutting just a little bit outside the line. When I mat it, I can choose if there's something I'm gonna miss. Okay, there's number 4. Okay, so let's see what we have and which way we want to, rotate these. We'll decide that. We can decide that later, but we got this one. I think it was painted that way. Got this one. This has a lot of white space. Got this one. Let's see, bump these up a little bit. And we've got this one. And I also have this little extra one right here for my daughter. So let's put these in frames and see how they turn out. So I found these frames at Michael's, and you can get them at a really decent price, but I really like the double matte. I think they were $20, and they're just the perfect size. So the painting size is 5 by 5 inches, and the frame size is 8 by 8 inches. Let's just put the frame away for a minute, and I'll want to dust this off and Windex it. Let's start with this little guy and decide where we want to put the mat. Oh, see how cute once the mat goes on? Anything looks cute when it's matted. Okay, so how far up do I want it? Do I want it right where I drew those lines? I like these bleeds in the green over here. I'll try to include those. Let's call it good right there. Tape on there. Where was it? Right about there? The answer is yes. Tape it down on your mat. Oh, one thing I forgot. I haven't signed this yet, so I'll do that now. Do any of you have a hard time signing your paintings? I don't know what it is with me, but I'd rather just not have any signature on there and leave it like that. Also, is that my bottom? Is that my bottom? Is that my bottom? I don't think so. Or is that my bottom? What do we think? 3, 2, 1, make a decision. I think we're going to go with it like this. All right, there's one. Let's go on to the next. Okay, and here it is in the frame. I think it looks lovely. I really like these little paintings. They're only 5 by 5, and they make really good sets. If you put 2 together or 4, it just makes a really cute collection on a wall when they're together. Okay, let's mat painting number 2. We've got this one. We've got this one. Could go any of these ways. I kind of like it that way. I think that's the way it was painted. It's probably why I like it. Okay, I think I like that one better than the other one. And the last one. Yeah, I think it's number 2. Let's do this one. Now find that spot again. Where was it? Okay, let's see how it turned out. Now I'll just write my signature on there. I better use black again, since I did black on the other one. Okay, I'll put this one in a frame, and then I'll show you how they look side by side. Here's painting number 1, and here's painting number 2. Let me zoom out so you can see both of them together. And that's all there is to creating these little paintings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Have a wonderful day.